Hey everyone, if you've ever been told you're anemic and you need to take more iron, or if you've been struggling with fatigue despite trying supplements, stick with me today because I'm sharing something that could change how you think about energy and exhaustion. Here's the thing, fatigue just isn't about low iron. In fact, taking more iron can sometimes make things worse for people if your body doesn't have the right balance of copper and vitamin A, too. I've been talking with Samantha from Wellness and Womb recently. We had her on the podcast, and she was mentioning how it's the movement of minerals in your system that's actually what's really important when it comes to energy, when it comes to hormone imbalance. When it comes to all the things associated with minerals in our body, if they're not moving properly in the system, just pumping the body full of more isn't going to improve things. It can actually make things worse. And so, my point of this live today is I want to break this down for you in a super simple way. And by the end of this, you'll know how these nutrients work together and why your energy might still be struggling, even though your blood work looks normal. This is something I hear with clients all of the time. I went to the doctor and my blood work keeps coming back as normal, but I know that something's not right. So let's dive into this. Let me share a quick story with you. I worked with a client who was told over and over that she was anemic. She was constantly exhausted. She had pale skin. She had brittle nails, classic signs, right? And her doctor recommended iron supplements. But even after weeks of taking them, she actually felt worse. She had more fatigue, she had more brain fog, and even digestive issues. And so, if this is something that sounds familiar to you, this might really help you. When we dug deeper, we found out that it wasn't actually that this woman lacked iron, her body just wasn't using the iron properly. And the real missing link here for her was copper and vitamin A. And so all of these minerals are meant to kind of work synergistically together. You need one to support the other and vice versa. And so when we're just focusing on one piece of the puzzle, it's like if a kid is trying to make a puzzle or if they're trying to build something out of Lego and all you do is give them yellow Lego, they're not going to have all of the tools that they need to create what they're trying to create. And so when we found that this woman was actually not lacking iron specifically, because iron levels can actually be 10 times higher in your tissues than they're showing in your blood. And so you go in and you come back with low ferritin or you come back with low iron in the blood, and doctors are like, oh, your iron is low. But that may be just because it's all sequestered in your tissues and your body is trying to move it. A really common thing that I see too with clients who have an imbalance of the movement of iron in their system is that they have really heavy periods. And this is not just women over 40, but this is the demographic that I typically work with and that typically come to me. And so, really heavy periods, this could be your body trying to move things in our system. And often, the medical approach when there's really heavy periods, that was me in the past too, and the doctor said, "We can put you on the birth control pill. It's not dealing with the problem. It's a Band-Aid approach. Or we could give you an IUD," which is something that I opted not to do because if you haven't had children yet, this can be very painful to put in. And then also, it's not something that's long term. You're going to have to replace this over and over again. And it can cause more issues in the system too. And then the third option is let's do surgery. Let's remove your uterus. Yes, this stops the really heavy periods, but it's not fixing the problem still. It's putting a band aid over or putting a piece of tape over the check engine light on your car. And so we need to figure out why is your body not functioning the way it's supposed to. Really heavy periods or fatigue all the time or mood, like all of these hormone related things, your body's trying to tell you that something's going on. And so taking iron pills often for people just causes constipation, affects digestion, and it doesn't actually fix the problem. So with this woman, we shifted her approach and we added copper, bioavailable copper. I made the mistake a couple years ago. I was like, oh, I can just buy my spouse a copper water bottle. Looked really cool. She can drink out of that, and that will make a difference in the copper in her system. But if it's not bioavailable and the body can't use it, it's not doing what we want it to do. There are food ways that you can get copper and vitamin A, and food sources is always going to be the preferable way to do things versus um, a synthetic version. So we shifted this woman and we added some copper and vitamin A, and energy started to improve for her for the first time in a long time. And so what happens is that a lot of people hear low iron and they think the answer is simple. I'll just take an iron supplement or I'll go for iron infusions. But the truth is, iron on its own doesn't create energy. Your body needs a delicate balance of iron, copper, and vitamin A, as well as magnesium, to make that all work. So, iron is essential for carrying oxygen, but can become toxic if it's not properly regulated. Copper is what helps your body actually use iron. Without enough copper, iron stays stuck in storage instead of helping your cells create energy. And vitamin A, so I'm talking the real kind, this is retinol. This is not beta carotene. This activates copper so it can do its job. Without enough vitamin A, your body can't regulate iron or copper use effectively. I know, kind of technical, but these are really important things to know because often medicine will just throw something at something that's going on and it's like, yeah, but you need to figure out how things are working together so your system can work the way it's supposed to. And fatigue isn't just about iron, it's about how well your body can use it and the iron that it already has. So what happens when the system is out of balance is you take too much iron without enough copper, the iron can actually build up and cause oxidative stress. Think of it like rusting inside your body. It creates inflammation and it makes you feel even more exhausted. If you don't have enough copper, your cells can't properly use the oxygen iron carries. And without enough vitamin A, your body can't activate copper properly, keeps the whole cycle stuck. So, as a result, unrelenting fatigue, brain fog, poor recovery, heavy, cloddy periods, and feeling like you're running on empty, even when you're doing everything right, are signs of an imbalance. So, you might be wondering, how do you know if this applies to you? Here are some common signs. So, fatigue, like I said, that never seems to go away, even with rest, is a common one. Brain fog, difficulty concentrating, is a sign for you. Needing naps or stimulants like coffee to get through the day. Pale skin, brittle nails, even hair loss can be a sign that there's an imbalance or there's a dysregulation of the minerals in your system. Mood swings or hormone issues. So, again, heavy periods is a sign here. Hot flashes as well. Like I said, the heavy periods, the body is trying to get minerals moving. It can't make minerals, so it's trying to move things. If you don't have your period anymore, that could be because of surgery. It could be because you're postmenopausal or because you're a male. You're not going to cycle on a daily or on a regular basis. And so your body's not going to be able to move things. It can try and do the same with hot flashes. You're trying to sweat out the excess iron, which is not a very effective way of doing things, but the body is always trying to create balance. So, what can you do instead? It's not just about taking more supplements, it's about supporting your body in a way that lets it actually use the nutrients correctly. So when it comes to the whole food sort way to look at things, when you look at whole food copper sources, this is going to be things like oysters, beef liver is a really good one, and actually cacao is a source, like dark chocolate is a source of bioavailable copper. When it comes to real vitamin A, think egg yolks, liver, and grass-fed butter. And then iron from food, not the synthetic version, is going to be grass-fed red meat, sardines. Those are all good sources of that are absorbed well when balanced with iron and copper and vitamin A. And most importantly, test don't guess. Standard blood tests often miss the full picture. That's why I use frequency based root cause testing to look deeper into what's actually going on in your body and what your body actually needs. So, if this has been eye opening for you, I want you to do two things right now. Drop a fire emoji or your favorite emoji in the comments if you're learning something new. Number two, if you're tired of feeling exhausted despite trying everything, DM me the word energy and I'll send you a link. Let's book a free discovery call with you. This is a personalized support system where I can look in deeper with you and figure out what's going on in your body. Why are you not functioning the way you're supposed to? And what's causing it? And what does your body need to get back into balance? So if this is something that you've been looking for support with, as I said, I typically work with women over 40 with perimenopause type symptoms. Heavy periods is something I've seen a lot of recently, low energy, hot flashes, any hormone related stuff. I can help you here for sure. And so if you're looking for support with that, again, send me a DM. Let's set up a time for a free call and we can talk about what's going on with you, what your body needs to get back into balance so you can get rid of your pesky symptoms and start feeling amazing again. I don't know if I said my name at the beginning. It's Kate from Aligned Natural Health. I'm here to help you figure out what's the root cause of your health problems and get back to living the quality of life that you deserve. Thank you for joining me today. And if you have any questions, reach out anytime. I need to find my cursor so I can end this. There we go. Okay. Thanks again.